Why is it that some people emerge from suffering stronger while others crumble under its weight? Why does hardship seem to make some wiser, more resilient, and even more compassionate, while others are left broken and bitter? You see, life's challenges are inevitable. Pain, loss, failure, they're as certain as the sunrise. But the way suffering shapes your mindset, your very essence, depends entirely on how you face it. This video isn't just about surviving suffering. It's about how pain, when embraced with the right perspective, becomes one of life's greatest teachers. Today, we're diving deep into 9 transformative ways suffering molds your mindset. These are not abstract theories, but lessons rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism and proven through real-life examples. By the end of this video, you'll not only see suffering in a new light, but you'll also gain tools to harness its power to shape a stronger, more purposeful life. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mirror of Adversity. Suffering acts like a mirror. It reveals who you truly are. When you're stripped of comfort, security, or even certainty, you're forced to confront your raw self. Imagine this: a man who loses his job unexpectedly. At first, he feels as though the ground beneath him has disappeared. The initial shock is overwhelming. But as days turn into weeks, he begins to notice something. His deepest fears rise to the surface. The fear of inadequacy, the fear of being judged by society, the fear of losing control. All of these feelings become glaringly apparent. This self-awareness is excruciating, yet it's crucial. It's in moments like these that you truly begin to understand your strengths and weaknesses. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Suffering forces you to stop blaming external circumstances and look within. The discomfort of facing your true self is the foundation of growth. Without this mirror of adversity, you may never truly know yourself. Chapter 2. The Catalyst for Growth. Pain has a way of pushing us out of our comfort zones, sometimes violently so. Take, for example, Thomas Edison. One night, his factory went up in flames, destroying years of work and invaluable prototypes. Most would have been devastated beyond recovery. But Edison looked at the destruction and said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start fresh again." What could have been a paralyzing loss became the spark for innovation. Suffering challenges your limits. It forces you to think differently, to adapt, and to evolve. Imagine climbing a steep mountain. With every step, your legs ache and your lungs burn. But it's precisely this struggle that makes the summit so rewarding. Just as your muscles grow stronger by facing physical resistance, your character grows stronger by facing emotional and mental resistance. Every struggle, every setback is an opportunity to build resilience and inner strength. The question isn't whether you'll face challenges, it's how you'll respond when they come. The choice to grow is always yours. Chapter 3. The Art of Perspective. Have you ever noticed how the same event can be interpreted in entirely different ways by different people? Imagine this. 2 farmers face the same storm. One curses the rain, feeling trapped and miserable. His crops might drown, his plans are ruined, and he's filled with despair. The other farmer, however, sees the rain as a blessing. His fields will thrive, the rivers will flow, and he's grateful for nature's balance. The event is the same, but the interpretation is worlds apart. This is the power of perspective. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, captured this beautifully in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. While enduring the horrors of a concentration camp, he realized something profound. While he couldn't control the suffering around him, He could control his response to it. Frankl found meaning in his suffering by helping others, by holding on to hope, and by reframing his perspective. The lesson here is clear. Suffering shapes your mindset by teaching you that your perspective determines your reality. It's not the pain itself, but the story you tell yourself about the pain that defines your experience. Change the way you see your hardships, and you change their power over you. Chapter 4. The Teacher of Patience. In today's fast-paced world, where everything is just a click away, suffering teaches you the virtue of patience. Think of a farmer planting seeds. No matter how much he wishes for an instant harvest, nature has its own rhythm. He must wait, nurturing the soil, watering the plants, and trusting that the fruits of his labor will come in time. This is patience in its purest form. Consider Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. For many, such an ordeal would lead to bitterness or despair. But Mandela used those years to reflect, to learn, and to prepare. He emerged not as a broken man, but as a leader capable of uniting a divided nation. Suffering, when endured with patience, becomes a powerful teacher. It forces you to let go of the need for immediate results. It teaches you to trust the process and understand that some things, like growth and healing, cannot be rushed. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you conduct yourself while you wait, and it's through suffering that this virtue is cultivated. Chapter 5. The Forge of Empathy. Suffering connects you to the universal human experience. It reminds you that everyone, no matter how strong or successful they appear, carries their own burdens. Have you ever noticed how people who have faced significant hardships often possess a deep sense of empathy? This isn't a coincidence. There's a story about a young doctor who lost his brother to a rare disease. This devastating experience, though painful, transformed the way he approached his patients. He no longer saw them as mere cases or symptoms, but as people with fears, families, and dreams. His empathy made him a better doctor, and his pain became his greatest teacher. When you suffer, you gain a deeper understanding of others' pain. This shared vulnerability creates a bond, a connection that fosters kindness and compassion. Empathy isn't a weakness. It's one of the greatest strengths you can develop through suffering. Chapter 6. The Test of Gratitude. Gratitude shines brightest in the face of adversity. It's easy to feel grateful when life is smooth, when everything falls into place. But what about when life crumbles? Suffering tests your ability to find gratitude even in the smallest things. Take the story of a woman who survived a near-fatal car accident. During her recovery, she began to notice the beauty in life's simplest pleasures. The sound of birds singing, the warmth of sunlight on her face, the support of a friend's kind words. These small moments became profound sources of joy. She learned to appreciate what she once took for granted. Suffering doesn't just teach gratitude, it deepens it. It reminds you of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing even the smallest blessings. Gratitude born from pain is gratitude that lasts. Chapter 7. The Path to Resilience. Resilience is built through adversity. Think of a tree growing on a windswept cliff. Its roots dig deeper, its trunk grows sturdier, and its branches learn to bend without breaking. This strength doesn't come from ease, but from enduring harsh conditions. J.K. Rowling's story is a testament to this. Before the success of Harry Potter, she faced numerous rejections, financial struggles, and personal setbacks. But each challenge she overcame made her more determined. Her resilience turned her pain into purpose, and her struggles became the foundation for her success. Suffering shapes your mindset by proving that you can endure more than you thought possible. Each challenge you face strengthens your inner resolve, preparing you for future storms. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but thriving because of it. Chapter 8. The Reminder of Mortality. One of the most profound lessons suffering teaches is the reminder of mortality. This may sound morbid, but it's deeply liberating. The Stoics had a term for this: memento mori. Remember that you will die. It's not meant to scare you, but to focus your attention on what truly matters. Steve Jobs famously said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." When you're faced with suffering, you're forced to confront life's fragility. You begin to see what's important and what isn't. Suffering strips away the superficial. It reminds you to live with intention, to cherish the present moment, and to pursue what truly matters. In this way, mortality becomes not a source of fear, but a source of purpose. Chapter 9. The Gateway to Wisdom. Finally, suffering is the gateway to wisdom. Wisdom isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's about understanding life on a deeper level. It's about seeing the connections between experiences, learning from your pain, and using those lessons to guide others. Think of the Greek philosopher Epictetus. Born into slavery, he endured unimaginable hardships. Yet, through his suffering, he developed a philosophy of life that has inspired millions. His teachings remind us that while we may not control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Every scar, every setback, becomes a chapter in the story of your life. And it's through these stories that wisdom is born. Suffering, when embraced with courage and reflection, becomes the greatest teacher of all. Conclusion. Suffering is inevitable, but how it shapes you is up to you. As we've explored today, pain has the power to transform your mindset in profound ways. It reveals who you are, pushes you to grow, teaches patience and perspective, and fosters empathy, gratitude, resilience, and wisdom. Most importantly, it reminds you of life's fragility and beauty. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of hardship, remember this: you are not being broken, you are being shaped. Let suffering be your teacher. Embrace it with courage, and it will lead you to a life of purpose, strength, and meaning. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. See you in the next video.